Welcome to Keep What You Earn, your judgment and jargon-free zone for entrepreneurs of all levels. Get ready to learn how to scale your business, save money in taxes, and create a business that grows your wealth. If it feels like the financial side of business is like eating your vegetables, well, then think of this podcast as the ranch dressing to make the process a little more enjoyable. My name is Shannon Weinstein. I'm a CPA and business owner on a mission to simplify money and empower others through knowledge. I hope this episode inspires you to take action, but remember that the information we share is for educational purposes only and is not individual tax advice. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start the show. So you may have heard in either business school or through the grapevine somehow that if you want to start a business, the first thing you need to go do is start a business plan. You need to have some type of formal business plan in place, and you need to make sure that that's all buttoned up before you can even get started. And that's a load of crap. I'm just telling you right now. It could be very important to you, but I would say the vast majority of you who are starting businesses, you really don't need a business plan. And I'm going to share my opinion on business plans, what they're used for, give you a little insight into what they are if you're not familiar, but also kind of go through my opinion on whether or not you need one, when you need one, and how to do it thoughtfully. So what is a business plan anyway? It's really a comprehensive document, and it provides an overview of your idea for your business, a bit of market analysis, your target audience, an analysis of your competition, financial projections, and it really serves as kind of a vision that you would present to, say, investors or lenders. This is really what it's used for. But unless you're actually getting investor capital, seed money to start your business, or you're actually starting with a loan, I don't think this is necessary whatsoever. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't plan. A business plan is a much more formal and comprehensive document. It's an organizational tool. It helps you structure your thoughts and ideas a bit better, but it's not really for anyone unless you're seeking that capital, right? So if you were to start your own business on your own, do you need to have a business plan? No. However, you should have a plan. You should actually be thinking about this stuff, but you should operate as though you need to go make one. You need to operate as though you need to go make a business plan and almost go through the exercise if you are disciplined enough. I recommend going through the exercise of developing a business plan for your business. And even though no one may ever read it, it's almost also a time capsule of what you thought at the time. And you can actually plan and forecast out, 1, 3, 5 years into the future where you want to be, right? And start using that as a vision board, something to draw on, something to dream with, right? Now, what you want to do is be mindful of the flexibility and adaptability of a business plan. So if you're going to use a business plan when you start your business, you want to make sure that it is nimble, that you're doing a really solid analysis, but also that you are allowing for some flexibility. If you make a business plan and you're like, well, we're going to hit this milestone within 3 to 5 years, like, honestly, you might, but I don't want you to hold yourself to that measurement as though that is the end all be all, because so much can change in 3 to 5 years. I think we all know that by now. So much can change in the economic landscape, in the environment. Buyer behaviors can change. Technology will change. And you have to be able to adapt to it. Now, 3 to 5 years, okay, for example, right? 3 to 5 years ago, we didn't have AI. We didn't have the pandemic happen. People were not working virtually. Like, look what has happened in the last 3 or 4 years. So think about that, how much can change. So you want to make sure you're also not measuring yourself and your self-worth on whether or not you accomplish what you set out in your business plan. That's not the point. The point would be to utilize the business plan as a tool, to utilize it to actually forecast and project, and to get you thinking about these ideas. One of the most valuable aspects of a business plan is what's called a SWOT analysis. If you're not familiar with a SWOT analysis, it is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Traditionally, this is what we call an analysis of internal and external factors that affect your business. Strengths and weaknesses are, what do you do super well, and what do you need to improve on? Opportunities and threats are, what can get in the way of your objectives? That's your threats. And the opportunities would be, what is on the horizon for you? What different things will give you a tailwind versus a headwind, right? So if you want to talk about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, my analogy that I just kind of alluded to is the airplane, and saying, okay, strengths and weaknesses are, the strength of the aircraft or the function of the tools, like things that you can control. right? How good the aircraft is built or how poor the aircraft is built versus the headwinds and tailwinds that carry it. So internal versus external factors. So what are the different things in your business that are positively or negatively impacting your business? What can you do to counter or manage the external factors? What can you do to focus on improving on your weaknesses or covering your blind spots, right? So the SWOT analysis and the business plan are really killer tools when it comes to annual planning, when it comes to reevaluating your business and meeting with your team and going through what your focus areas are going to be. And it's a really helpful resource for that. If you listen to this show, you know that I am obsessed with strengthening your cash flow. It's the lifeblood of your business, especially for those looking to grow. And that's why I want to tell you about my friend and fellow fractional CFO, Brian Zapp, and his weekly newsletter called The Cash Flow Compass. It's packed with actionable tips to help you grow your business and reduce your stress. Sign up now to get the Cash Flow Compass sent to your inbox every week using the link in the show notes. I see a lot of business owners kind of letting this get in the way of starting their business when they're first starting out and kind of having that analysis paralysis of, well, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I need to have all the answers right away before I even do a business plan. And I have to do a business plan before I start my business. And that's just not the case. Action breeds results. Results breed feedback. And the feedback breeds the next action. You need to be moving forward all the time in order to be generating that feedback and then knowing what direction to take. If you're standing there still analyzing the map, you're not moving forward. I'll say that again. If you're standing still analyzing the map, you're not getting any closer to your destination. You are better off moving forward in some direction than standing still because you're just wasting time. So my advice would be, don't let that get in the way of you running your business. So again, this is a killer tool for profitability, for your financials. It gets you thinking about these different things. I mean, a major downside, however, to a business plan is, the lack of realism. It can create unrealistic projections. It's based on a lot of assumptions that are not always true. There are market conditions that change. It has to be super nimble, right? And we don't want you updating this thing constantly. It's designed to be an intention setter. It's designed to be something to set the goals, set the plan. But also, you have to be realistic and you have to also make sure you're aware of who's going to be reading this and who's it for. And is it for you to plan or is it for you to present to investors or to lenders? What is it that you are actually promising? What are you committed to? And are you really focused on delivering on those results? Is this something realistic for you? So one thing that's actually happening a lot lately is this methodology of like a lean startup. So I love the idea of a lean startup because you don't have to go through all this crazy infrastructure. You can kind of just start today and do micro steps along the way. Take a small step, test it out, learn from the feedback, and keep iterating. You want to have the minimum viable product. We call it the MVP, the minimum viable product. You actually want to put something out into the market as soon as possible to get feedback, beta test things, and actually maybe develop your business plan after you've already established some type of product market fit. I truly believe that if you're going to start a business, you want to spend less time actually planning. I know that's crazy for an accountant to say, but spend less time planning and more time just thinking about how you can add value, just how you can iterate a product that solves a problem. And I think that once you do that, it's really going to snowball from there. And it's going to become a lot easier to plan ahead and figure out what you're going to do next. So remember that business planning and business plans do not necessarily mean the same thing. Definitely want to be doing some planning. Doesn't have to be super formal, but don't let that get in the way of you taking your next step in your business idea or taking action toward the right direction to grow your business right now. Sometimes don't you wish you could just Google or ask ChatGPT what is deductible for your taxes? I wish it were that easy, but the truth is that deducting something can really vary. And it's really hard to get a straight answer for your business in particular, but I made something to help. My free tax deduction guide walks you through hundreds of example tax deductions that can apply to your business, along with a mini training on what actually makes something deductible so you can add more to your list and cater it to your specific industry or type of business. This is all for free and it's at the link in the show notes. Go check it out. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and review on your podcast platform. This small action goes a long way for podcasters to get our message heard by more business owners just like you. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to information about our guests and ways to get in touch with me. We'll see you on the next episode.